So 30-second intro to this. This is going to be an official video for the Nightly Aura backstory that I made for PERM to explain this, even though it's likely that you know what PERM is if you're watching this video, either because you're watching this or linked to this from Nexus Mods, which is where the backstory is going to be, or you watch the channel where this comes from. But for those who don't know what PERM is, you will need it. It is available on Nexus Mods, but the reason I wanted to bring that up is because while this backstory should be there as well, if something happens to any of the sources in which I put this custom content in, then feel free to just ask me for it. I don't know what the best way, best way to contact me may be later on in the future, but if there is somewhere, I usually add some kind of contact somewhere. So, for timestamp's sake, as we get into Ath, Nightly Aura, and into Kyrie, just gonna go over more of the basic strategy or the thought process behind before basically getting into behind-the-scenes talk, because, I mean, not much else is gonna be going on after you get the kind of the main part of Aura of the Night. So, this Aura of the Night is a status effect on top of the backstory, so there are 2 Ito files and then a bunch of, graphic effects like Aura of the Night and the Nightly Aura here, which you see, but basically, the idea is every 2 investigations, your max stamina or max reason will increase or decrease by 1. So that doesn't sound like much, but backstories are usually not simplistic, so to say, but they affect something smaller than an old god. And in my opinion, if a backstory does a lot, then it's usually going to be a very difficult backstory. So I didn't want it to make it that difficult, but I didn't also I want to make it go completely ineffective to the run. So just going over the Aura of the Night status effect here. Every 2 investigations randomly increase or decrease max stamina or max reason by 1, which is what I just said. However, I allowed you to use this status effect to decrease your max stamina and max reason, but increase your max stamina and max reason by 1. The reason for this is because you may RNG your way, so randomly you could just lose a bunch of max stamina and suddenly you're in a very, very bad place. Now, I'm playing on Harbinger of Doom difficulty, which means that max stamina and max reason will play more of a factor into this run. I can go into the math about it when I get into my first mystery, but as we get Takshisan, second mystery, strength, charisma, dexterity, and maybe a light check, because I do want to pass this run if possible. Yeah, just know that this is pretty much a clean run aside from the Nightly Aura backstory, so yeah, there's not going to be any other custom content to keep this as vanilla as possible. So, as I set illegal then, because I think I want to use the occult shop just to kind of be more consistent in this run. We'll get into the strategy here. So, every 2 investigations, your max stamina and max reason could increase or decrease. The reason that's somewhat relevant is because that doesn't seem like much, but at least for me, which if for no other reason than RNG, when RNG is bad, you could just end up losing a bunch of max stamina and max reason and basically lose overall 2 to 3 stamina reason overall, which is kind of my calculations with bad luck. So if that happens, that basically can mean the difference between surviving a run and not surviving a run. Again, if your strategy is a bit more sound, if you are lucky, or you could just be a mix of both, really. It's strategy and RNG. That's pretty much it. I think there's something I'm forgetting. Maybe you get handcuff tech, maybe you don't, but if you are basically in a situation like me where you have bad RNG, yeah, you could just lose a bunch of max stamina, max reason, and suddenly you're in a lot of pain. So you saw at the very beginning there that I immediately use the status effect. That's kind of just my personal thing. You don't have to do that because there could be a chance that you heal stamina or reason, and then you just find, or you. What do I exactly want to say? Also, I went to the I went to the muscle memory took me to the illegal den. There was something I wanted to say about that. I forgot exactly what it was, but we're looking for a weapon here. We'll just take whatever we get, and off we go. But so yeah, you could end up needing that stamina reason, I guess, is one way. There's something else I wanted to say, but I don't have notes up. But yeah, if you just end up losing a bunch of stamina reason, then usually taking immediate stamina or reason damage is not good for you. Oftentimes it is. I think it's more consistent to just use up a point or 2 of stamina or reason. But note that, yeah, Aura of the Night, if you use it, you lose 3 stamina, 3 reason, which for characters like Mimi is a lot. For characters like the spoiler character, it's a lot. And you could just end up losing 10 Doom with that spoiler character, or with Mimi, you could just outright die. So, I'm shrugging in real life as I say. There is a bit of a gamble there. But again, it depends on your specific situation. Because Knightly Aura is a backstory, you won't be in a situation where you're like, oh, Eldritch Parasite, because Knightly Aura is your backstory. That being said, there are Old God combinations that can just be very bad for you as well. A simple example is a Thotu. If you immediately run into, say, the Dull Nurse and you lose 3 stamina, 3 reason, you can just outright die with certain characters because you might not be prepared to fight an encounter that is kind of, in my opinion at least, is tough to get through. So, as we get through this here, so some kind of behind the scenes for Knightly Aura. I think I wanted to mention something. Why did I not take notes for this? But this is the official video, by the way. And yeah, I am going to be yapping a lot. But again, at least to show you something of the backstory, and I might just even die immediately. I really hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, maybe I should not have taken that max stamina, max reason. Again, note that I'm not really taking a lot of... I'm not really paying attention to the max stamina, max reason drop. For those who don't know a lot of World of Horror, and this is... And you may not have seen a recent video, because I think I mentioned it, but you can tell which... oh, I have to say no here, by the way. You can tell if you have your max stamina or max reason. Like, if it were 8 here, the numbers would be bolded. That's one way to tell. If you play World of Horror for more than a little bit, you'll kind of see it, but just in case you don't know, and you remember me saying this, then you can be like, oh yeah, that's right, Jordan said that the numbers are bolded when you have your max stamina or max reason. So, just know that's the case. However, there are going to be some weird moments that literally happened in, I think, pretty much the last episode relative to this one, where you'll heal right as your max stamina drops and increases. And so you'll get a little glimpse, and you might have forgotten your max stamina reason, and you can kind of get a glimpse as what your max stamina and max reason were. So this is usually a bit more important as we get 5 bow guess for scissors here. More important on an Eldritch Parasite run, where you may be using max stamina, max reason cost effects. And so you want to end up keeping track of how much max stamina, max reason you've used. Knightly Aura here is kind of the same idea, because again, if your RNG is bad, you'll just find your max reason drops by 6, and that can be very, 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 very bad. So, on the flip side of that, I don't know if this is what I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the video, but on a non-Harbinger run, again, you don't have to worry about it as much. An extra 4 max stamina and 4 max reason is essential. If we work the math behind that, as I try to also survive here, you essentially have 16 free investigations where there's no possible way your stamina or reason will drop low enough. And probably, I mean, it's probably less, because if it just keeps... if it continues being... Just making sure I can defeat the Young Witch here. If it continues being, like, say, stamina, so in 16 investigations, your max stamina can drop by 8. If you start on, say, Cultist difficulty, then you will have, like, 10-9 max stamina. It's been a long time, I don't remember. I want to say it's 17. So yeah, you're probably at 9 max stamina, which is still very doable, but it can scare a newer player to World of Horror. I would say don't be as scared, but again, at the same time, you might not be fighting battles effectively, so having 9 max stamina can be a bit scary. However, again, that would involve basically not even it would be like 25% in a row, 5 times in a row. Am I going to get... I was about to say bow, bow, clap, clap, bow, just in case we run into a ghost. But you would have to be really unlucky for that to happen. Now, that being said, you definitely have more than 18 investigations in pretty much every run. I don't know if it's possible to do less than 18 investigations, barring custom mysteries, but you get the point. You'd have to be really unlucky for your max stamina and max reason to drop low enough to have to worry about it, at least in my opinion, on a non-Harbinger difficulty. On Harbinger difficulty, on the other hand, there are also just effects that stacked on top of losing max reason and max stamina, in Knightly Aura, you will have to worry, because suddenly your max stamina or max reason could be at 7 or 6, and then you just can't take tank, T-A-N-K, certain encounters, like Recluse, like even, I would even say Flood, because yeah, definitely Flood, because you can't rest long enough, and you have to chew through about 50 plus HP, so I'm shrugging in real life as I say, there are some bad moments on Harbinger of Doom difficulty. I need to keep saying that because that's a very important point. If you're not playing on Harbinger of Doom difficulty, you can almost do whatever you want, but Recluse can't... no, it won't be, because that's right. Enemies are not doing as much damage. So, again, Knightly Aura is a lot more dangerous, at least in my opinion, when you run into... I don't know, what did that look like? Because something just happened, by the way, but it's fine. Right when I was recording. It's fine, we'll keep this, but... and yeah, so an example here is, hey, we equipped this demon mask. How much max stamina do I have now? I know it's not 7. It could be 8, could be 9. I wasn't keeping track. But again, if you're someone who likes to keep track of basically everything that's going on, Nightly Aura is a bit more interesting, but it's not going to be the most difficult thing to deal with. By the way, we need to take out things to fight this correctly. I might even want to use the box cutter. I think I definitely want to use the box cutter. But as we store everything we don't need this as well. Not like we can use the handcuffs, but you never know, right? So let's get into this. Again, you're not seeing much of an effect right now because I have not healed, but the more I think it's more objective. The more objective way to put it is that if you end up basically healing with max reason available, it's something I said before, you are effectively losing HP because that's an extra point of stamina and reason that you may have had. And in my opinion, at least, an extra point of HP, at least, in World of Horror, can be significant. It's not the most significant, but it can hurt you in the long run, I feel anyway. But that being said, again, it depends on your overall strategy and how things turn out. Like, there is a lot to think about. So, this is 13 damage, right? Yeah, 13 damage, so I don't need to even... I can probably just do a strong here and be fine. If not, well, math. But, as we move on here. Time skip, 68% Doom on our 4th mystery. Boy, oh boy, are we in a bit of trouble. I also haven't been filling this bottle of water, so I haven't been playing the most efficiently either. But while the box cutter is still available, that's nice. So yeah, getting into more behind-the-scenes talk, I did think about adding basically events to Nightly Aura, but I felt it didn't make sense. The kind of in the works that I was dealing with, and you have 9 max stamina now, by the way, what I was thinking about using was basically an event that sets you back to your base max stamina, max reason, -1 at the very... as you were at the beginning of the run, basically. And the reason I wanted to do that is because if RNG is really, really bad, but and then I thought, again, usually your max stamina, max reason are not dropping low enough for that to really matter, so that's why I didn't go through with it. Now, if things change, sure, but I feel... I use a very simple rule for determining whether or not something's balanced that I made for content, whether it's in World of Horror and other games, or just game design in general, and it's that if I can do it, a lot more people can do it. That sounds like it's downplaying myself, but I promise you, I do think it's a good threshold to think about. But as we sit here, I think this should be enough damage. How much damage are we doing? Okay, we're getting bonus damage, so we can definitely desperate prep strong our way out. But yeah, again, here you won't see it as much, but there are going to be situations, I think more than a few, where you'll realize that an extra points of max stamina or max reason, or lacking of extra points, lacking max stamina or max reason, will make some of a difference. I did not remember that event, so I could have just died there, but as we continue to seemingly get max reason and seemingly continue losing max stamina, again, I promise you, when our stamina drops to 6 or 7, you'll feel it. Another objective example of why that matters is because, say you have a very... Not even a very... If you have 6 max stamina, then you kind of need to worry about the lighthouse. If 2 of your 3 strength, dexterity, or knowledge stats are below 8, basically. Oftentimes, characters in World of Horror, especially if they are custom characters, they don't have a very even spread of stats, like Kyrie here. I can definitely hit like level 5, level 6 if I'm really pushing it, and increase knowledge, dexterity, and strength all to 8, so I don't have to worry about stamina at all. But again, for custom characters specifically, they're usually on the more extreme side of things, so their stats are gonna be a 3 or 2 to start out. And so you do have to worry about, hey, I have a lighthouse, I'm going to lose like 6 to 9 stamina damage, and if Nightly Aura pushes you down on top of any status effects that decrease your max stamina, max reason themselves, you're going to feel it. But it's not going to happen a majority of the time, is what I'm trying to say. 7 knowledge? Regular RNG on the other hand. So yeah, again, I was thinking about an event just to kind of... even the odds there, and it is nice to have extra things on top of backstories and gold gods, I feel, in particular, but at least for Nightly Aura, I wanted to stay like this for the moment, because then I'd have to think about which locations I would want to add such an event to, where you get to basically reset your max down to max reason. How that would work out, we'll go into the code of it now, again, might as well, nothing else is happening here, is that every time you pick a choice in this event, because you're going to be playing this backstory on PERM, because without PERM you don't have custom backstories at all, every time you make the decision to reset your max down to max reason, there's a variable that ticks by 1 every time, and this number is then subtracted from the overall max stamina, max reason that you would get. Again, I was kind of messing with things just to try and see what I could do comfortably, but it's relatively simple code. Basically, no loop. I don't think you need any loops. The way I made it didn't use any loops, but again, I didn't test to see if there are any bugs. That's not something that you want to hear someone who codes say. But hey, also I am in pain here, and I should have re-equipped the ritual dagger because now we are doing no damage. In fact, I actually need to run here and hope that we have enough doom to survive this run. So. Yeah, we do have a bunch of spells, though, so you know what? I should have actually been using them. Whoops. I think I could have actually fought that boss, but hey, if I survive this run, then this backstory is definitely... I mean, it is. I just made a few mistakes because I've just been going crazy with my life. We also got the Holy Candle, but that disappeared into the Aether. Don't give me a Holy Candle event. Was there a Holy Candle event here? Doesn't matter, but anyway, moving on. But yeah, such an event basically would increment a variable, and every time you pick it, basically that means that you're getting less max reason. So by the time you run into this event 3 times, if you do it on the 3rd time, I think you have max 9 stamina, max 9 reason, if I'm doing my math right. So yeah, we're going to hold this level up, by the way, because we're going to enter the lighthouse, and I don't remember my second encounter. So we don't have the second encounter check, thankfully, but we do have the second mystery check, Strength, Dexterity, Charisma. So... if we level up and increase dexterity, we essentially get our money's worth. I think we took quick thinking, so yeah, we definitely just need to directly increase our stamina. Then we only lose 3 reason. We don't 3 stamina. We don't have the 6th floor, so we don't need to worry about a light source. And I think we can just walk up this tower. I need to take out items, by the way, because we will definitely want to handcuff Toxison. But we can also box cutter. Do I want to do that? We're gonna level up and see. So. None of these self-therapy, kind of. I don't think I need to worry about it, though. So, yeah, off we go. But again, in this situation, say we were stuck at like 5 stamina and we didn't have enough dexterity because we didn't take quick thinking, then we'd be in trouble. That's near a guaranteed loss, unless, again, you're Kyrie here. I took self-therapy and then I healed with these spells. So Kyrie thankfully would have gotten through that. But if I was someone like Haru or something, without an extra pack of cigarettes, which is something that I don't usually do, yeah, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So... should be able to just handcuff tech this. Without handcuff tech, by the way, I think we still would make it out. Let's just do a little test here to see. So I would have done Brace, Ritual Dagger. Could we get a Strong? We can't. We take 1 damage here, and then we walk up extra floors. What could I have done next turn? Can I do 2 strong attacks? I can. So we have 14 damage on demand. In fact, I'll just do that just to do it. Keeping in mind that I also have the Demon Mask. But we'll just handcuff tech and make this easier on ourselves, or quicker at least. And I guess a little bonus question is to note. I took scissors second, right? Yeah. I would have died there if I didn't get that right, by the way. How much max reason I have, because I don't know. Again, I guess extra trivia. I'm pretty sure, because you can track your stamina and reason. I think you can also track your max down to max reason. I mean, if you couldn't, that would be really, really strange. But basically, there are ways that you can spit that out. I probably could have done that, like say I allow you to inspect Aura of the Night, then you can track your max stamina, max reason. But I mean, I might as well keep it this way because you're not able to really track your max stamina and max reason normally anyway. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say here. I will add the end screen here as normal, but this should also be available elsewhere as kind of the losing the words here, not a great official recording. But basically, it'll be kind of the trailer to Nightly Aura. And I'll do the same for the Old God and something as well, or any other custom content, usually, if I throw them on Nexus mods. But yeah, without further ado, if nothing else, again, I'm not going to link anything in the description because I have been slapped for that before, especially with Nexus mods for no reason. Not slamming that website, I'm just saying that links, including Nexus mods, have gotten this channel in not great places before. So without further ado, thank you for watching and I'll see you later. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!